detective. Thrill me.
Thanks for joining us. Another trip to the cinemas. Another 2025 film. I Know What You Did Last Summer. What is it? A reboot? Requel? Legacy sequel? I don't know what the fuck it is, but I Know What You Did Last Summer is tonight's film. Before we get to that, what have you been watching, Jared? You've been on holiday, so there must be a reasonable...
Yeah, a little bit light, given that we've gotten together a few times, so it's not as hefty.
That's true.
I got back into the Canon books, so I'd given them a break for a little bit. Took a sojourn into Bronson territory again,
of course,
that sort of thing. But
Bronson Loose.
So Bronson Loose again is ready to rock and roll, but I'm just going to finish up the first Canon book before that.
Yep.
So I watched House of the Long Shadows, which is the one that had like Vincent Price and Christopher Lee and
Bit of classic horror.
Yeah. It wasn't bad.
Huh?
It wasn't bad. It was quite entertaining, fairly sort of straight down the line. But I guess if you're watching that, it's just because it's fun to see those actors together.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was kind of entertaining. I watched one called Young Warriors.
Young Warriors, yes.
This is a strange one, Adam. Strange. Because
interesting mix, I hear.
She starts off as bawdy teen comedy. Including,
starts off as porkies.
Pretty much. Including, like the frat party where one of the pledges is getting his ass shaved before being requested to pluck an olive with his butt cheeks and drop it in a martini, and then he has to drink said martini after it. So I'm sitting here going, yeah, this is just classic bawdy kind of teen comedy. And then it takes a very sharp left into sort of teen Death Wish.
How sharp?
Very
It's a fucking
sharp.
90-degree turn, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very sharp turn. She's a hairpin for sure. Like it's but the funny thing is, once it gets into that, it actually sort of briefly digs into things that you kind of wanted Death Wish to do.
Mm.
Like it starts to, it starts digging into a few of the moral questions and that sort of thing. Again, very briefly.
It doesn't really dig. It just kind of
it touches on them. It touches on them a little more, and there's some sort of character moments that I would have loved to see from Bronson in a couple of those Death Wish movies.
Mm-hmm.
Just adds a little bit to it. You got Ernest Borgnine and Richard Roundtree running around in there too, so it was actually quite entertaining once you sort of get back on track after the whiplash from the fucking.
Once you've gotten over a guy drinking martinis with arse olives in him.
Yeah. Once you go from Van Wilder to fucking Charlie Bronson in the blink of an eye. Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Sounds all right.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Have a look. I think there's one called a fan edit. There's a YouTube fan edit, which I think basically just removes the fucking frat party. But yeah, that's an interesting one there. And outside of that, I got into the Hercules movies that they made with Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, Lou.
Yeah. I tell you what,
Lou's in Ripping Nick?
I don't think I've ever seen a bloke in better condition for a fucking film
Than Lou.
That includes Arnie. That includes, Arnie's been in great nick for a lot of movies. Lou is just,
Lou was bigger. He was taller.
Yes.
So he had a bit more real estate.
Yeah.
To work with.
He's just in, fucking
Ripping.
ripping nick.
He wasn't, because they were saying he would beat Arnie when Arnie came back that time for Pumping Iron.
Well, just on first glance, I'm no expert, Adam, but if I'm looking at Hercules, I'm saying, he was robbed.
He was robbed. Arnie talked him out of it. Come on, Lou. You don't want to win this.
Fucking hell, Arnie. But yeah, apparently it was supposed to be a little, I think they were going to go a little saucier, shall we say, but Lou said no.
Lou doesn't like his Hercules saucy.
Lou, because I believe it was Lou had gotten into Hercules when Steve Reeves was playing him, and it was part of why he got into the bodybuilding and stuff.
Yeah.
So his stance was kids have to be able to watch this.
Yeah, which is fair.
Which is fair enough. But it's, the first one's First one's, I found that to be pretty ordinary. Second one is also average, but I feel it's got a little more. It's just got a little more story. The first one's just kind of going from one thing to the next, but with very little connection to fucking Hercules' actual tasks from Greek mythology or whatever. He ends up fighting bloody stop motion robots sort of things at one point. So
holy shit!
And I believe Lou also didn't find out that he was dubbed until watching it at the premiere.
Now,
which would have been
that's a bit of a kick in the guts, isn't it?
So yeah,
I think I read those chapters in the canon book.
Yes.
They also cobbled together Lou in some other fucking sword and sorcery movie.
Seven something gladiators.
Yeah,
I can't remember. It was basically Hercules was shot back to back, and Sybil Danning was also part of both, but got downgraded in the role in Hercules because her and Lou didn't get along.
Yeah.
So Lou she was supposed to be the love interest in Hercules, but got fucking moved to like one of the evil
villains.
But yeah, there's that. But then I saw there's also some other Sinbad one with Lou Ferrigno that was done by Enzo Castellari, my mate, the Italian director. So I might dip into that as well. I got a little bit of sword and sandal work to get through.
Fucking hell, Lou. He lived in loincloths and fucking sandals.
Lou would have been chafing for months on end after filming these. But yeah, it's got a couple of good moments, and he does look the part, massively. He's spot on. So it's kind of entertaining. But yeah, there's that 7 Gladiators one, which they describe in classic canon fashion. They described as another take on 7 Samurai, but we'll make them gladiators instead. Just like the natural fit of Porky's and Death Wish.
Yeah. They go together fucking hand in hand.
They go together like sand in your fucking jocks, mate. Lou can tell you all about that.
Exactly. He's still got some in there. Is that everything?
Yeah, that was
okay,
it.
So it was pretty light for you.
Yeah, pretty light considering, yeah.
Mine was also fairly light. I watched Jaws at 50.
Yes.
Look, nothing new. There's been so many fucking Jaws docos.
Yeah.
There is not a single anecdote that you can possibly
bring out.
You can possibly come up with.
Yeah, we got interviews with people going, "Did you know the Sharks? We called him Bruce. Did you know that?
Yeah,
we knew that.
We knew all that. What I think they did well here was it was more of a fan thing. So it talked to all the filmmakers.
Yep.
Then it talked to other filmmakers about how it impacted upon them and actors. And then it talked to it did a little bit of a rundown on the townsfolk who were in it,
and so sort of how it legacy, which is probably a good way to approach it.
Well, I mean, as Spielberg was saying, it added a touch of like naturalness to a lot of the other people on the island that aren't actors in the movie. We got these guys and we just let them fucking talk.
Yeah,
and we got some really good things out of them. I thought the most interesting thing was Spielberg went into a bit more depth about how it kind of fucked him up.
Yeah.
A bit. He's having nightmares and shit when it was over, that he was back there and it was never going to fucking end.
Nightmares about the shark not working.
And he said that he thought he wasn't going to get work. Like, he thought the fucking career was over, basically, because it was so far behind and so much money was being spent and he felt like, he'd kind of fucked it up. And he said at one point the head of the studio came to town and sat down with him and said, "Look, mate, we may have to pull this up because it's fucking, it's out of control."
Yeah.
And he kind of begged him. He said, "Look, I can finish it. I can finish it." And I think that if it hadn't have been a hit, Spielberg's career would have probably been over.
Yeah, yeah.
We're talking about, I think he said it was meant to be like 60 days shoot. It went 190 or 180 or something.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous. It is. Like, people would have been people couldn't take jobs. So, the actors in it were highly sought after actors. They couldn't take any work.
Well, when you got one that's on set drinking.
Heavily.
That extra 90 days is pretty rough.
I think Spielberg is so fucking sort of quietly, he sort of says, I think everyone knew Robert had a drinking problem,
Yeah.
but he doesn't really go into the details
No.
of what Robert was doing. They do have a fair bit of behind-the-scenes footage,
Yeah, that's good.
which is sort of new. They actually have some footage of the Kittner kid being actually attacked by the mechanical shark, which I thought was cool because that's not what's in the movie at all. But it was interesting to see that.
Yeah.
And then we did get a little bit of behind-the-scenes footage of Robert Shaw clearly off his fucking off his fucking face during a fucking interview, a TV interview.
Are we talking like James Brown style
No,
TV?
no. He's got he's at least got his shit together, but it's clear he's fucked. He doesn't look real good.
Yeah.
Fella. But look, I enjoyed it.
But, Stephen, as fate would have it, he gets into the sort of position where you can just quietly slink into like a thing of executives and just say, yeah, this movie looks pretty good. And then when you pick it up and it bombs, everyone's like, where's Stephen? I don't know. Well, he said it was all right.
Yeah, that's right. I watched another one of the train wreck docos about the balloon, the kid in the balloon.
Yeah.
Mate, I think we've hit a bit of a patch where this one is super slight.
Yeah.
Like this was the thing I said to my wife. I understood that maybe that kid was in it, and then it turned out he wasn't, and that people thought it was a hoax. But why the fuck were we taking it so seriously about that? Like, who cares? What the fuck were they getting out of it? They didn't get anything out of it anyway. But it seemed that they were indicating, they wanted to be like
I think they were
a reality show.
Yeah. I think they were trying.
They were no chance.
I guess the problem is when you do something like that, people get pissed off because you're using important resources.
Yeah, slap them with a bill and fucking that's it. How's your father? It's over.
Yeah.
Like, here's fucking $200K
and then
because we had to roll out every cunt in the world to find your fucking
We get
son.
a tiny thing in the paper to say, the kid wasn't in it.
But
we move on.
It's classic media. It's classic media. They just can't see this shit for what it was and what it is.
Yeah.
And just go, fuck it. We can move on to the next story. Possibly because it was probably pre the 24-hour news cycle. These days, that shit gets 2 minutes of fucking. Oh no, unless you're a CEO who's rooting around on your wife at a fucking Coldplay concert, that seems to be getting plenty of traction.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It would get more now.
No, but it gets some, but then it would fall off because
it would lose
all this
steam
other
quicker.
Shit would come off.
It would lose steam quicker, but it would be everywhere for a while.
We probably wouldn't have a doco about it.
I think we would.
Oh yeah, we probably would. This one was slight.
But that's the thing.
If I was
the interest should be, why did this idiot think this was the best way to get fame? And part of the reason is because some people probably have gotten it that way, or ways similar to that.
Well, look, put it this way: the guy was on Wife Swap.
Yes. Was he on the episode with Roddy Piper and Ric Flair?
No. Did they swap wives? Holy shit. Jared, they didn't, did they?
Oh, someone did.
Oh,
Roddy
tell you what, imagine being fucking
Ric
Roddy's
Flair would
wife
have been there.
putting up with Ric Flair.
Ric Flair would have been at the local bar pooping his pants, according
to sources.
According to internet scuttlebutt.
Shitting his pants and then rolling home.
Just to do it all again tomorrow.
I mean, get a fucking handle on your drinking, Rick. Shit. Oh, fucking hell.
I wonder if he gives off a warning. Does he go, woo, when it's happened?
Woo! I followed through. All right, Rick. Get your fucking shit together. Literally and figuratively. Jared, his daughter's in the WWE, isn't she?
Yes.
She must be fucking going on. Every time she turns up to a day of work, someone's going to hear your dad crapped himself at the fucking at the Birds Club last night.
It's funny you say that because, WWE's released that Netflix show about behind the scenes. They've finally just fully kind of accepted that this is a show. So they've now got a
have they?
Yeah. Part of the Netflix deal is like this WWE behind the scenes show. And one of the scenes this week was CM Punk kind of standing outside the ring while she's kind of working out in there, and he's like, "Hey, Charlotte, you ever shit yourself in the ring?" And she's like, "I wouldn't tell you if I did." And then she kind of goes, "I might have peed myself a little bit."
Yeah, a few people have done that. That's fine.
I need to follow up on this and find out all, I need full details on what prompted CM Punk to start.
Yeah, I'd say it's
start
got
the conversation.
I hear your dad shits himself when he's not in the ring.
Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah, your dad did, and he still does it. But as far as I know, it's just a rite of passage.
Oh, yeah.
You're not really a wrestler until you shat yourself in the ring.
Yeah.
Ask Vince McMahon. Just shoot me from the waist up.
Even if you're the CEO, it's your fucking job to shit your pants. All right. The last thing I watched was we got back onto Poker Face.
Yeah, okay.
Which is quite good, and it's interesting because I kind of thought it was like Columbo, which is exactly what they've done. The whole, who did it, but then you watch Columbo kind of work it out. It even had the same fonts and stuff of the credits and stuff when they come up at the start. But watching it the other night, even she talks a little bit like Columbo, and she has the affect of him. When she speaks and the way she sort of says, "Oh, one more thing," that kind of stuff. So I thought that was kind of cool. Good show, not too bad. Into the second season. All right, let's quickly do an up or down, Jared. Mortal Kombat 2. I believe they released some posters. They also released a trailer. I'm an up. Especially with the addition of Carl Urban.
Yes.
Who was not in the first one.
Yeah.
I believe it's the same team behind the first movie.
It is.
And most of the same actors are back.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add Carl Urban. I don't know if Johnny Cage was even in the first movie.
No, Johnny Cage wasn't in the first one.
So nice touch, bring in Carl Urban. Looks like it's got a little bit of humour added to that.
Yep.
And it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Good fun.
And from what I can tell, I've heard they've taken a lot of feedback about the first one. Like a lot of feedback about why did you start with a new character instead of just keeping the characters that we had in the games. Dig into the lore a little more, and everything coming from the writers and the directors is like, hey, we've listened, and this one's going to be
more in line
with what you think. And the buzz looks pretty positive. I think it looks pretty good. Yeah. And I'm a bit of a sucker for the Mortal Kombat games, so I wouldn't say I'm steeped in the lore, but I know enough about it to kind of watch the trailer and pick out a few bits where I'm thinking, yeah, it looks like they might have listened here. And interestingly, the trailer contained none of Cole Young, which is the character from the first one that they sort of created. Right.
There's a poster for him, so I'm assuming he's
There
back.
is a poster, yes. I have heard a few little bits and pieces around that. So, yeah, it could be interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm definitely an up. It looks
definitely,
pretty cool.
definitely.
Especially if it looks like Urban's got the tongue-in-cheek kind of, we're going to take the piss out of the JCVDs and whatever, lovingly.
Yes.
So it should be good fun.
Should be good fun, yeah. I like the look of it. All right, let's take a break. Here's the trailer for 2025's I Know What You Did Last Summer.
My friend was attacked. They had a hook. Sorry. She found an anonymous note, just like you did. Whoever's doing this, it's connected to what happened to us.
Stay behind me.
What are you waiting for?
I Know What You Did Last Summer, exclusively in theaters July 18th.
I Know What You Did Last Summer from 2025. Directed by Jennifer Caton Robinson, who directed Do Revenge. It's produced by Neil H. Moritz, who produced the Fast and Furious films. And it's written by Jennifer Caton Robinson, Sam Lansky, and Leah McKendrick, who wrote Deviant Love. And it's based on characters created by Lois Duncan. It stars Madeline Klein as Danica Richards, Chase Sue Wonders as Ava Brooks, Jonah Howard King as Milo Griffin, Tariq Withers as Teddy Spencer, Sarah Pigeon as Stevie Ward, Jennifer Love Hewitt as Julie James, and Freddie Prinze Jr. as Ray Bronson. The budget, I couldn't find a budget, Jared. I'm thinking probably 25 to 30, maybe. Looked pretty good. Looked solid.
Yep.
Box office, the opening day was 5.8 million. So we're probably looking at an opening weekend of maybe 18 or something. It'll probably do all right or enough to make some money back, I would suggest.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a little bit of trivia. In 2014, director Mike Flanagan and writer Jeff Howard revealed plans for a reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer. In a 2016 episode of the Shockwaves podcast, Flanagan said that the film would not have any connections to the 1973 novel nor the 1997 film, and the scope of the film necessitated an estimated budget of 15 to 20 million. Actors approached for the film at the time included Yankee Crystal Lowe and Selena Gomez. This planned film eventually fell through, and instead a TV series reboot was released, which we know what you think about that. It was cancelled after one season due to low ratings and negative reviews.
Mm.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
Interesting to see what Mike Flanagan might have done with this.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I hate to say it, coming straight out of the gate, he probably would have done a lot better than what we got, unfortunately.
Yeah.
This was flat, super flat. There was some ideas that I felt like they came out of they popped their head up, but then they quickly were just forgotten or just pushed to the side. It looks good. I guess it looks, crisp and like it's well made. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But it just had no sort of oomph to it, Jared. I felt nothing. I got no excitement out of any chases or the deaths were pedestrian.
Yep.
Like it just, nothing really, they did nothing well. It was kind of like, jack of all trades but master of none. And you just couldn't get anything to really come through. It's not that greatly directed. And, when Freddie Prinze Jr. is your best performance, I think that you've probably got some problems. And that's not, I don't want to kick Freddie. He was never a great actor, but he at least infuses his guy with a kind of like
likable presence.
He's likable, but he's also kind of got a little bit of that world weariness about him. He's older. He's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Like you at least get something like that from him.
Yes.
Nobody else gives you anything, in my opinion, and I didn't like it. I gave it 2, and I think I'm probably being generous at 2.
Yeah. So look, my initial feeling was a 3.
3?
And the reason I say that is because I think I was so down on what it looked like.
That you thought, oh, well, that's
that when I got in there, what I got was a little better than what I was anticipating. If I'm being, the more I look back on it, I think it's probably fair to sort of revise to maybe a 2.5 and stick with that. I think you're spot on. My biggest problem is the new stuff it doesn't add a lot. I didn't mind the lead girl.
Yeah.
But the characters is just so uninteresting. And the girl that's getting married, I can't even remember her name, but she's the one that's getting married. Danica. First off, I thought, okay, well, we're going to play her for a few laughs. I didn't get a laugh out of her. I didn't get anything out of that. Milo, nada.
Oh, he was... Jared, I could not remember his fucking name.
Was it Milo?
It was Milo, but I remember coming out of it and I kept saying the dude with the, the curly hair or whatever he had. And my wife's like, oh, yeah, that guy. Nobody could, because he made no impression anywhere.
And the funnily enough, out of all the new characters, the one that I liked the most was the Ryan Felipe kind of mirror, only because I did get a few laughs. Initially, the first couple of parts of him, I was just like, oh, this is going to be insufferable. But then... No,
but they tidied him up a bit. When he came back.
Yeah, and I got a couple of laughs, especially, in the cemetery when he's been off the drink for a little bit, then he sees a couple of people there at a grave. And he wanders over and kind of goes, my condolences. Don't happen to have a spare beer there, do you? I was just like,
that was all right.
I'll get a couple of laughs out of silliness like that. You're bang on. The couple of decent ideas that they had just didn't didn't work out. And I think towards the end of the episode, we should definitely put a spoiler warning on and then talk about reveals and stuff, because that's part of where it goes. I think you're right. I enjoyed Freddie Prinze as much as anyone else in the movie. I think there was a real opportunity, and I think they played that part reasonably well. Like the reason to bring back Julie and Ray, I actually liked. It doesn't.
It felt natural enough to bring them back the way they did.
Interesting enough, but it just doesn't dig in. And so I think the biggest failing is, as you said, we were promised this. We were promised a fisherman that was more brutal, and it just missed the mark totally.
Yeah.
There's not one of those kills that is memorable. There's not one Sarah Michelle Gellar chase sequence from the first.
Yeah.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. There's nothing. There's just none of it. And that's the big missed opportunity. Like you get that right, and you get squeeze a little bit of excitement out of that sort of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with that.
I just think they missed it completely there. So 2.5 is fair.
2.5 is fair. Likes. Firstly, we'll probably get to this a little bit later on, but the idea of like connecting it back to past trauma, some of that stuff.
Yep.
I felt was solid ground. I felt we could have actually got serious with this movie and done something a little bit more.
Could have actually spent more time with Julie and dug into a little more of her. You know, she's teaching about trauma and the impacts.
Yeah.
And then it seems like that is connected to Ray because Ray's still struggling.
Yes.
With parts of it. That's not a bad way to sort of bring them back.
I'll get to some negatives about how Julie's included.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea of their shared trauma and maybe digging in a little bit more about how it all fucked us up really badly, and
different
now it's
ways
suddenly
of working around it.
Now it's suddenly back.
Yeah,
and
even like physically, she's left. She's moved on.
Yeah,
physically out of the town, but obviously they're tying that back to the impacts on the characters. Ray's still there. He's still stuck in it.
Yes,
so.
Which, again, I'll come to a dislike again about Julie because I don't really get... Well, I'll get to it. I felt like they do and they don't make a better fist of the accident. Okay? They do in the sense of they didn't hit anybody. They then didn't put them in the back of the car and fucking drowned them, which is essentially murder, which was what the other one did. Which then gave them no footing. That's why the other one, I think, struggles, the 97 one, is because these people are fucking criminals.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
This one was more grey.
Yeah, a grey area.
And it
was more that an accident occurred because of they created.
Yeah, it wasn't as blatantly kind of over the top. It was more of a situation where you could buy that some of the people involved would be like, well, hang on a minute. Did we really do anything wrong? Whereas other parts are like, yeah, we did. Or there should be parties in there that's like, look, are we at fault? I'm not so sure, but we should have done something. We should have told someone. Or, there was more room for more sort of believable conversation between.
Yes.
Rather than just, I'm an unrepentant asshole like it was in the first movie.
Yeah, correct. There are still problems with it, though.
Oh, for sure.
And I'll get to them because they kind of hamper what we end up with the year later.
Yeah.
Getting the letters and that.
Yep.
It's hampered by the fact that they're not enough involved.
Mm.
That's how I'll put it.
Yeah.
They don't have enough of an involvement to be able to say, yeah, we are all in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, this is clear that this person's bringing this up. So, but I felt like you did better than what they did in the first movie, in my opinion. The first movie...
Still a point.
Yeah, the first movie... I guess the first movie makes it clearly
like
black and white.
Said.
That, yes, they are definitely in trouble.
I'll talk about it when we get to it sort of later on, but I definitely think in the first movie it's more... The notes are more like...
Yeah, I know.
They show they're having more impact on the characters.
And we did do something wrong.
Yes.
All of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not we might have. It's fucking it's kind of depends on who you are.
Yes.
Like, that's where it goes wrong, I think. But we'll get into it a little bit more. God, Jared, I am fucking scratching here because Freddie Prinze.
Freddie Prinze was good. I like the lead girl as much as I don't necessarily like the character. I thought there was points where she showed a bit of reasonable chemistry with the Danica girl, but I just didn't feel like either of their characters was super sort of, get me on board. So, yeah, I think it's fair. Like, I did like their presence on screen. So I think that small group of actors is probably worthwhile.
Yeah.
And old mate, I mean, his character was pretty light, but he made me laugh.
He made the most of it. I think Freddie Prinze was the most. He probably got the most rounded character because we know Ray, and we know that.
Is it round?
Not
slight
round.
Bump.
Well, it's fucking it's kind of.
He does. He probably gets.
It's like an AFL football.
It's the same as.
It's not round, but it's oval shape.
It's like what you said. He gets a little more of an interesting take, but it's just not fully fleshed out.
No, it's not. But that world weariness of being older.
Yeah,
it gives it a little bit more of something. Plus, we know his character. We know who he is.
Yeah.
So and he played the heroic character in the other movies.
Yeah.
So
when he got a letter, he didn't get a letter this time.
He did not get a letter. but yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. In the acting stakes, it's pretty hard, and the character stakes.
Yes.
So that's where things really come undone from a dislikes perspective.
Yep.
I didn't love any of the kills, but a couple were okay. The one where he put the hook through the guy's throat and sort of dragged it through, I thought that was kind of cool. Even the spear gun on the guy that was in the trailer, I thought initially that looked fucking awful. When you saw it in its full context, I thought it was a little better. And it was something different, something different to use that kind of spear harpoon type of thing and use it repeatedly.
Yeah.
Retract it and, use it again.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would kill anyone, but, I mean, he wasn't dead. He didn't die until he got fucking hooked in the noggin, so. I'm stuck.
You're stuck?
Yeah. I'm stuck. I'm not joking. I don't. There wasn't a lot because it was so flat, and I'm not going. I think now that I think about it, I think it's 1.5.
They should have brought Jack Black back.
Ladies, the sweet ladies. That would have at least got some fucking laughs, wouldn't it?
I saw on Bloody Disgusting. They how it was mentioned in the movie. Bloody Disgusting was mentioned in the movie.
Yeah.
They posted a little thing that says it's now official that Bloody Disgusting exists in the same universe as this, and it's Jack Black. Yeah, that's what we needed more of.
Yeah.
So I think...
What else you got? What do you got?
Southport as a place to set it, so much potential. It's just a little lacking, but I got a couple of points where I'm just like, fuck, this could have been nice.
Yeah, but Jared...
Could have been nice to look at.
I love the idea of Southport, but
undersold.
I got a negative because... And I'll get to it. I'll get there.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
Another one that was, it's another thing that's just sort of half done, but they did it felt like more towards the back. They started going with a little more wanting to take a bit of a angle of let's have a few laughs about the original and the setups and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember specifics, but I just remember a few points where characters are referencing things and stuff, and you're like, maybe a bit more of that would have worked early on.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing that's just not fully done. It's sort of undersold through the movie. But when it happens, it's like, yeah, maybe this approach
we could have got
worked
somewhere with this.
Yeah. Because I think I enjoyed the back end a bit more.
Well, it's also a little bit faster paced, the back period.
Yeah.
It's probably too long.
A shade.
Yeah.
What is it, 2 hours?
Just under 2. About 10 minutes longer than the original.
Yeah.
And I think the original was probably too long. Jesus Christ. This has not been pleasant.
Dear.
Anything else?
No, that was it.
No, okay, so shit. Okay.
Time to kick.
First, yeah, time to get the steel
Time to
toes
kick
on.
the football-shaped
Yeah.
characters.
Characterizations were very, very poor. Everybody, basically, apart from Ray,
Yeah.
who at the very least we get a feeling for his trauma. We get his kind of older, more sort of beaten down guy than what he was.
And the sense of anger about, the sheriff and stuff, like, and the real estate dude. I don't want to call him the mayor, but he basically acts like the mayor of the town in this. But yeah, the brief hints we get where he's like, you basically you're trying to forget us.
Yeah,
you're trying to fucking cover up what happened to us.
Yeah,
and we need to it needs to be known. That stuff was good. I wish there was a little more of that.
Yeah. So apart from Ray, you had Danica, who they seem to basically position her as like a buffoon.
She's kind of the damsel in the whole.
Yeah, but also
the whole
a bit of a
character is
ditz and a
about
bit
who
of an
she's
idiot.
marrying and
I, look, I don't. The actress is not the worst actress in the world.
No.
So really, you probably could have given her a bit more.
Yeah.
You didn't give her anything. The main character, I mean, what did we get? Like, what the fuck did we actually get? Other than the fact that you made her, like, you positioned her as the person, the final girl kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's all you did. You just positioned her in that spot.
There was a real opportunity to have, like I said, to have the differing kind of takes on what we should have been doing in the situation and how people deal with that in the back end and and it plays in later, but the way she it felt initially like there was a guilt about cutting Stevie out of the group, but then there was a guilt about bringing her back in the circumstance that this was.
I know. It was like, so why did we even have that? It felt a little bit like the Johnny Galecki character. Remember how he was on the outs? I think it was because he was a scumbag. If I'm not mistaken. He's a fucking scumbag. But what I mean is they make a big song and dance about her. Oh, some shit went down and then, she left the group and then they bring her back. Then 5 seconds after bringing her back, she's involved in a fucking accident.
Yeah. It felt like that was a missed chance.
And then we come back and she's Danica's fucking
Best bud.
And there was no explanation for any of that. There was no fucking. It's just, she's been a good help for me.
And I get they're trying to put pieces on the board and this sort of stuff, but it just felt like, okay, well, there should have been a little for the characters to do around that sort of stuff, maybe, or to work through, because it just didn't feel like they were ever doing anything.
No, they weren't.
What was Milo doing? I heard that he had a good political job, and that was the end of it.
The fact that they went with a joke about how, for some reason, she asked her to choke her during sex.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not into this. Which, fair enough, Milo. But then he gets in the car and makes a joke about, well, I mean, you can choke her. That's cool. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Well,
what the fuck is this?
That was the way that this is the way that we get her processing things. I'm going to jump in the bathroom stall with this podcaster on the way back from the airport.
That character is the fucking worst.
Yes.
Absolute worst.
And she has a big part in fucking giving the game away. And it's
a fucking awful performance. It's a shocking character that drops fucking, name drops everything. And then why is it, Jared, whenever they actually put a podcast on in a movie, it doesn't sound like an actual podcast. She talks about, she presses play on her podcast and we get a fucking quick synopsis of the 97 situation.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like an actual fucking podcast.
But you know what? For the first half hour of the movie, every time everybody talked, it sounded like a fucking synopsis for something. Like, honestly, every time someone talks early on,
Yeah.
oh, Stevie, who are they? Oh, they were my friends before I went off the rails.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, fuck, you're going to tell us everything that happened? And then, oh, yeah, Stevie, remember we cut her out? I feel really bad about that.
But when you say you went off the rails, like fucking how? Like, I didn't know.
This is the thing. But then, you know, there's numerous instances early on where the characters are just telling you all this information that we should be gleaning some other way.
Was this trying to be too cool for its own fucking good? Trying
I
to
don't
give
know about that.
give the characters some edge or some shit, but
What edge?
I don't know what it
They're
was.
all round footballs, oval-shaped footballs.
But you know what I mean? Like characters who don't exist in reality, like
Well,
human beings who don't act like this.
I read that as more. My take on that, Adam, is I'm getting old. I can't relate to any of these guys.
I
at
can't
all.
relate to these
except
fucking
for when he's
idiots.
fucking pestering someone for a beer.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you. That's right in your fucking wheelhouse. It's on brand, Jared.
yeah.
You like my condolences, but have you got some beers?
Yeah, don't worry about that. I laughed at that. I had to laugh at that.
Let's get to the accident.
Okay.
The reason why the accident is not fully successful is because they don't have enough involvement.
Yeah.
He's just standing in the middle of the road. And then a fucking car comes around the corner. He leaps out of the way. They go fucking careening off the cliff. I mean, I don't know about you, Jared, but I'm like, yeah, no.
Well, I was off the road by that point.
Yeah. I'm not fucking. Yeah, we haven't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, the thing is,
They could have still called the cops.
But I think is I like the idea of that because
I agree with there's some shades about how people are going to.
you know it was
accept it.
one of the issues was like, and just getting a touch spoiler. It's not a huge one, but the faking it out. Like we save him from. Old mate takes him off the road while one of the cars is running towards him.
Yeah.
And then the next one runs off the road.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, oh, you wanted to sort of fake us out because you thought we knew what was going to happen. So you go with the next one, but then, as you kind of said, they're off the road by then.
Except old mate.
So, but it does work in the sense that, and this is part that I don't think it came out. They seem to go through this part really quickly. They got, oh, we're not going to the police. Oh, yeah, Dad's going to take care of it. But then when we get in the group and say, we've got to make a pact that we don't tell anyone about this, that's when you get the little the deliberation, Adam, of like, hang on a minute.
Negotiations.
Yeah, I'm going to the cops straight away. Oh, no, you can't do that because blah, blah, blah. And
But yeah, what you maybe needed was some leverage. Similar to what they do in the first movie, remember?
For all that we say about the first movie and that Ryan Felipe was a ball bag and I'd have thrown him under the bus.
But the way they handle it is better. It's like
there is leverage.
Our fucking lives are over.
Yes. And there is Ryan Felipe is like putting it on everyone else because he knows he's fucked.
Yeah.
Sarah Michelle Gellar's his boyfriend. I think we're going to fucking move on or move up in this town. So we're together in this. Julie feels for her because they're best mates.
Yeah.
There's none of that here.
They connect it better.
Yeah.
Again, I believe when we covered the movie in the episode, I said, well, you know, but the fucking car's full of grog and, you know, it's all over my clothes. Yeah, but they do what's commonly known as a fucking breath test, idiot.
It's not perfect.
Yeah.
The first one's not by any means
But this one
perfect,
I feel like...
But there's more character, there's more connections that make it so you're like, you're putting friendships in jeopardy, you're doing this sort of stuff.
Even something as simple, Jared, as my father, like you and your families will be fucking ruined.
Yeah.
And if this gets to anyone else, like...
Well, that's not a bad play.
We will destroy you.
That's not a bad play. I want to tell the cops.
Yeah,
maybe he rings his dad and he says, I got to call the cops. And Dad's the one that says, don't you fucking dare.
Don't you fucking dare. You tell the rest of them. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
And then he has to basically tell them, if you go to the cops,
That would have worked.
I will tell you, we will tell them that you were in the middle of the fucking road.
Yeah.
Like, it was you.
I reckon that would have worked. You could have had Danica being, no, yeah, your dad's onto it. I don't want a part of this.
Yeah.
The other characters like, no, we need to tell someone. Like, that would have worked.
Or Milo, of course, could have stood in the corner going, fucking dumb asshole.
Milo's got a high-level political job at it. He's a smart cat.
He was. His character was the fucking worst. Actually, no, second worst because the podcaster was the worst.
Yeah,
by
nothing
far.
to do.
But, so yeah, I agree. Some kind of leverage. It doesn't matter how. Dad, what's his dad was the best option because he is a mover and shaker in town.
That's how it plays anyway. But doing that would have actually given him an interesting take of, I basically got no, mum and dad fucking run the show. I don't have any fucking say here.
Yep.
I think that would have been.
They're bankrolling my fucking life, basically.
I think that would have been good.
I have to go along with whatever they want.
Yeah, so I think a couple of little changes like that would have been
helped. Yeah.
The second part of that hurts for me is when we come back, we don't get a sense of how anyone's fucking
fucked up
dealing with it.
Other than what's he's living on the houseboat.
He's the only one, but because they play him as kind of comedic at parts, it's like the impact is done. Danica looks like she's flying. She's getting fucking married to some other bloke with cash. And Milo, I couldn't tell you what Milo was doing with it.
Yeah.
And the main girl, all we get is
choking women.
All we get is I'm struggling with this, and that's manifesting in reckless sex. Like,
I mean, that stuff is weak.
It's weak.
Really
it's
weak.
Yeah.
Let's come back to Southport.
Yeah. Well, just for comparison's sake, as much as the first one doesn't necessarily nail all the parts of it, you come back. Philippe doesn't give a fuck.
Yep.
Sarah Michelle Gellar looks like she's
but she's now working in the fucking
for a year.
But she's working in behind the fucking what's he counter and didn't get anywhere with her acting career.
So that part works better.
Julie's at college, but she's fucked and she's struggling with grades. And Ray's
on a boat.
Ray smells like fish consistently. It's in his skin, Jared.
You never get it out.
You never get it out. I mean,
Ray walks into a room and someone's like, "Who's eating tuna?"
When I touch a piece of salmon, I can smell it for 3 days.
Yeah,
like,
he comes in. I'm like, "Hey, John West, how's things?"
Yeah. Hey, it's one of the guys from Deadliest Catch. He's back. Smells fucking awful too.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was saying.
Jared, let's get back to Southport though.
Circle back
to Southport. Circle back to Southport. I love the idea of a quaint fishing village.
Yes,
I love it. I mean, there's always a possibility of a lighthouse too, which I've always wanted to live in, Jared. But that's a fucking side note. That's a side note. Admittedly, as I get older,
that dreams out the window because you could not get up fucking 10 steps, let alone 100.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd come to visit, you'd be up on the top floor going,
I haven't been down here, been downstairs for a week.
I haven't eaten for a week because the kitchen's downstairs. Help me out.
So it didn't. They didn't shoot it properly.
No.
The first movie is much better at giving us some scale, some scope, some understanding of where some things are, giving us some classic pieces of
small town
fishing village. So the Croaker Queen
parade,
the Queen stuff. This one does fuck all. It doesn't show anything.
Well, they talk about, Danica keeps talking about,
she's a Croaker Queen, the same as fucking Helen Shivers was.
Okay, good. And that the part with, spoiler territory again if you haven't watched it yet, the part with Sarah Michelle Gellar would have been fine if she had have done some of that. But you didn't see any of it.
Holy shit, though.
You hated that.
Oh.
You hated it.
What were they thinking? Was it a de-aged?
I didn't mind it. It looked de-aged.
It looked shocking.
The idea of it was fine.
The idea was okay because it was a dream.
It did look terrible.
But it looked fucking terrible.
Especially when the effects come in. It's fucking Scorpion King levels of work.
Holy shit.
It's shocking.
And Sarah Michelle Gellar deserves better, Jared.
She does.
And honestly, you know what?
But that
you wouldn't even need to de-age her. You just fucking whack a fucking quick filter on, and she probably looks exactly the same.
Vaseline on the lens.
She fucking
You're
looks
good.
exactly the same now.
Yeah, she probably does. But I think I think you're right. I don't mind. I think that would have been okay. But as you said,
As if
a lot of the character stuff
going,
was weak.
Oh my God, she doesn't look fucking. She looks 40.
No, that's right.
Jesus Christ.
A lot of the character stuff was weak, and we don't see her with any connection to Helen.
Yes.
Other than yeah. Anyway,
And look, I will give them a slight props for. Initially, I thought Sarah Michelle Gellar's sort of cameo was just going to be on the T-shirt.
yeah.
Her face on the T-shirt.
Yep.
But I do appreciate the fact that they did bring her back in some
I was
fashion.
happy with that.
Like,
but
because we needed her there.
bringing it back to
But where's
Southport.
Ryan Felipe?
Where's Ryan Felipe? Jesus. He should have burst in and said, "What the fuck's going on here?" or something like that. I think that bringing it back to Southport, why didn't we have the parade? Or why didn't we have something like, if you want like a little bit of the fan service or the connection, that's perfect for me. And, I always say this to you about some of these slashes where it's just like standard kills. My first fucking thing if I'm writing this movie is I'm going to spend a week in somewhere like Southport and I'm just fucking wandering around the joint and I'm like, oh, that's a cool place for a kill. Oh, that's a cool thing that we could use.
Yeah.
None of it.
Nah.
We're killing people on front lawns and in a warehouse with a float.
We didn't
Is that
even.
a budget thing?
Maybe, but
Because
we
the special effects looked cheap when Sarah Michelle Gellar came in. So
Well, maybe it's budgetary, but I wouldn't have thought so.
no. But you got to give me a kill because you look at something like, so say that church, which they demonstrate as having a really nice kind of view on a cliff. I'm like, work that in somehow. Work in the view. Work in, like, kill someone on a wharf.
And that fucking messy red herring with the pasta. Oh, that
Pasta gas?
I wish it was pasta gas. I would have been. I'd have at least got something out of it.
Yeah. I would have been loving it if he wanted in to sort of say,
Speaking
I
of
smell
pasta gas,
fresh bread.
not necessarily pasta gas, but Stephen Colbert did exactly that to fucking Gary Oldman and some of his films. And
I need to see
fucking
this
Gary
immediately.
Oldman was pissing his pants. The fucking funniest thing he'd ever seen.
Yeah. Trust me, Adam. A couple of well-placed fart gags still go a long way.
Great. We would have got some laughs. It was pasta gas.
Yeah.
That was super messy.
Yeah.
And the red herrings all round were pretty messy.
Yep.
Do we say spoiler alert here?
Well,
because I think we
I think we were talking Southport. I think that's such a big negative for me because it just seems easy to do something like that. Kill someone in Ray's smelly bar. Like,
yes, correct.
Something that shows me we are in this small town. You know, as you said, the original had the Shivers family business.
Yeah.
It's on the main street in
And
this
that
small town. That's
sequence
small
was
town shit.
fucking garbage.
Yeah,
Where they
it
took
was.
us back into that spot.
Yeah.
They ran the exact same fucking shots, or not really shots, but the same two incidents, the one on the dumbwaiter, and then
But we tack in a human-sized birdcage.
what the fuck was that about?
I don't know.
And then we
You're a
have
fisherman, not a fucking bird watcher. Should have been a giant fishing rod.
Exactly. But they get upstairs and with the mannequins again with the plastic over them, and they fucking don't do anything. They botch the shit out of that too.
Yeah.
Like,
huge negative.
come on.
You got to give me some memorable, even one or two memorable kills in a location where I can almost smell the salty air at him.
Correct. I can smell Ray Bronson for fucking miles. He could be out to sea.
I can
still
smell him
that
from here.
dirty bastard.
Yeah.
But now let me get to Julie.
Julie. Are we going spoilers
We're
from
going to
here,
go
or you're gonna
spoilers
talk?
from here, but so spoiler alert, people. We will talk about who did it.
Yes.
And some of the issues there because we're getting towards that now. But Julie's involvement felt very early on like it was like it was shot somewhere else. Yeah, it was. But you know what I mean? Like we've got one of the key actors back, but they're not able to be on set with everyone else, so we're going to shoot some shit over here.
Yeah.
That's basically how it felt.
It did a little bit.
The only time it didn't is when Ray comes and sees her.
Yep.
Which I felt like that was the best sequence in the movie as far as two people acting. When they come together and you find out they're divorced and the way they kind of, they fucking get stuck into each other a bit. I like that.
Mm.
And again, it comes back to the fact that these are characters we know.
Yeah, that's where you get the chance to dig into some of what we talked about, how two people that went through this experience have dealt with the trauma very differently.
Yeah.
And she's kind of moved on and is attempting to sort of dig into it, understand it, teaching other people about it from a place of, having been through it, whereas he's still he's angry and he's still got issues around it. It's a very sort of straightforward kind of reading of, but that's pretty much what you get,
Yeah.
Like I think that was a thing that really could have worked.
Yes.
And I came up on the positive side of that, even though it wasn't fully
Fleshed
dug
out.
into.
So Julie's involvement feels artificial
Yeah.
because I know if I've now started to receive notes that I know what you did last summer and it relates to a 1997 incident, I'm going to talk to the guy in town who was involved. I'm probably not going to go looking out of town for someone else. I'm going to find Ray because I know he lives here. If someone says, oh, well, Ray Bronson was involved. He was, he still lives in town.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to find him. I'm probably not going to look for Julie.
She can't stand the smell.
Yeah. Yeah, but he smells as kind of creepy.
I don't eat fish, and this is rough on me, Ray.
Ray's got a double fucking banger because he smells like fish from years of hoiking fish around town.
Yeah.
But now he smells like a fucking brewery as well.
Yeah, so I think she needs to have a meeting. She says, look, Ray, number one, it's got to be outdoors. I need a breeze. I need a cool breeze.
It needs to be in a storm.
Before we meet, you need to buy some fresh clothes that have never been worn until this meeting. You need to have fucking
CK,
you need to have an hour-long shower in some Dr. Squatch.
Yeah.
And hit yourself with some cologne, and then we can sit down and talk about this.
But it's still, there's a gap.
Yeah.
That's a pretty decent
I sit at this table, you sit over the other side of the restaurant.
We yell.
I'll pass notes back and forth from the waiter. Oh, look, one of the notes says, I know what you did last summer. Fuck
you! But now getting to the reveal.
Yes.
When we originally reveal it's Stevie, because the guy who went off the cliff was in her fucking rehab group and she was in love with him or something of that nature, fucking jibber jabber, didn't fucking really care, And the first thing I said to my wife, I said, there is no way fucking she could have possibly killed these people.
No.
Because...
Well, it was a case where...
What, the other... the guy who was initially dating Danica?
Yep.
There's no fucking way she would have been able to put him down. Like, he was fucking huge.
But it suffers the problem, too, of stature.
Yeah.
We saw that the fisherman was taller than some of these people on occasion. And it's like, well, she wasn't in the same... I don't know. It would have been another one where it's like, oh, well, okay, we'll just have to brush that off as...
I'm prepared to let that go, but the thing is, they didn't even talk about how they...
No, it was very, very brief.
Because there was a second killer, obviously.
Yes.
Spoilers.
Which just, spoilers. Just putting it out there. We kind of broached this before in the trailer.
There are too many second killers. There are too many double killers.
No, but it's become a crutch. But I remember we spoke about it and we talked about the reasons why they might be back.
Yeah.
Like Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze, and we did broach
one of them.
That one of them
did it.
Or both of them might be involved, but we didn't think they would go that path. So
points for going that path, because obviously Ray turns out to be the one that did it. And
he's sick of being
forgotten
chastised for stinking the place out for 20 years.
You smell like fucking lobster.
Yeah. John West this, asshole.
Yeah. And I was okay with that.
So was I.
I was comfortable that they went down that path.
Yes.
But I was disappointed that we did not have him and Julie face off almost verbally.
Yes.
She's now
And he should have been.
she's now a psychologist. He's fucked and she's talking him down.
Correct. He goes from
0 to 100.
Well, he goes from standard kind of Freddie Prinze Ray that we've got for the 3 movies in the series that he's been in, or 2 and 2.8. And then for that last 0.2, he just switches into cold.
Yeah.
I
Nasty.
had to do this.
Yeah.
I wanted more blubbering fucking Ray. It's not fair what they did to us.
What we needed was him pleading with her. You need to understand why I did it.
Yeah.
I did this for fucking us.
Yeah.
We're being forgotten.
Yes.
Like you of all people should understand.
Yeah.
You know, that they've forgotten us.
That he's fucking suffering.
Yes.
And I would have been like, fuck, this is good because this is a guy whose team we've been on for essentially 3 movies now.
Hmm.
I would have been happy with that. And it would have been more of what we said we wanted between those two. Like, I think that could have been, you spend, you spend 5 to 10 minutes that you've wasted somewhere else in the movie on Ray and Julie at the end there. And him
actually,
trying to tell her this is,
and actually,
I'm
Jared,
suffering.
I would have gone this way too. I would have had him to show just how fucking far he'd gone off the deep end. I would have had him kill the other girl. And then it's him and Julie. That's it. They're fucking, it's the showdown. It's the final kind of, and then they talk it, but then it's going to come down to it's going to come to blows at the end. I feel like we could have gone in both angles almost because you probably needed that kind of, I don't know, maybe some catharsis for her, like she kills him. Yeah. And then because she did nothing. In the end, she did nothing.
Yeah.
Which is fucking, it's a bit of a slap in the face for me.
Yeah.
Kind of like, well, you got Jennifer Love Hewitt to come back and then you kind of give her fuck all to do at the end. You give her nothing. Yep. And yet you positioned her as somebody who knew something about trauma. Had learned something about trauma after the shit she went through.
Such an opportunity.
And you don't bother to even fucking give it any airtime.
Yeah, it was a real opportunity to get a little bit of dramatic work between those two and give us something we haven't necessarily seen a lot. Like, we have seen that stuff before, but in this kind of series, no. No,
definitely not in this series.
So
handle it more. I mean, I thought, in a way, these guys took a little bit of stuff from Scream, the 2022 one.
Yeah.
With what they did with Dewey. That's kind of how they positioned Ray. Very similar.
For sure. So to finish him off as one of the parties involved and show that, hey, people deal with this in different ways. And in some instances, people come out damaged. Obviously, I don't think, in real life, this is how it plays out, but you use him to represent one of these, people that in real life can't seem to shake like an addiction or something after trauma or like the things that play in stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's one of these characters who comes out on the bad side and just can't get out of it. Like, that would have been super cool.
Yeah.
To go with. And
real missed opportunity.
Like I said, I'm still reasonably okay with it. I know it's been pretty polarizing from what I've read. Some people were more probably on our thinking on it, that it was an interesting way to go. Other people just flat out hated it.
I don't see why you'd hate it because I think it makes sense that he fucking snaps.
Yeah.
He finally snaps after all of this, right? Yeah. It just, not enough was done. And it's kind of like we end the Ray character with a whimper. We end Julie with, I don't think there'll be another one. I can't see another one. I don't think the box office will be big enough to warrant it.
Regardless of what the post-credits kind of
indicated
out there. Yeah.
Was there a post-credits?
Yes.
Okay, so the end of the film was fucking lackluster as.
Yep.
Where they're sitting around. Again, Danica seems to be acting like an idiot. Like, I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then all I hear is, Stevie's still alive or something, like, didn't they say?
Yep.
And I'm like, couldn't give a fuck. I just couldn't give a fuck. So what was the post-credits?
Post-credits was Brandy.
Brandy
seeing the news and seeing Ray, the reports of Ray on the news, which I think they'd already used in the movie about reports on the news of Stevie. But
Yeah.
but they have a news report on Ray, and then we play a little bit of a game of, there's someone outside. It's Julie at her house.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, I need your help. And Brandy's like, who are we going to fuck up this time?
Okay. So they did bring Brandy back.
They brought Brandy back.
Very briefly. I would like to... look, the budget probably isn't too high, so they might make some money.
Yeah.
Okay. Would it be worth another sequel? Another sequel? Only if you're going to do something interesting.
So the thing for me is this was your shot.
And you didn't take it.
And you came up with an idea that was interesting.
But then you didn't
You fluffed it,
see it,
sort of. You whiffed.
Yeah.
So I can't see, unless Jack Black's back from the dead, I'm not interested in another one.
Yeah, you'll be hard-pressed to get me there.
So, I mean, the first one obviously has a place for us because it was
nostalgia.
In that time, it had actors that we liked. There's a few memorable scenes. Outside of that, I don't know why I keep coming back.
Yeah.
The book.
I still know wasn't great. The book's not
great.
good. The TV series was garbage. The fucking third movie was a disaster.
I don't know why I keep coming back.
It's hard to kind of say why we'd be back for this.
I think, like I said, the interest was there this time around, slightly. You got me back. I think you had a take on it that I was there for. Didn't quite pan out. I can't see what's left that I'm really keen to see again of, that we're picking the carcass of the original series now, surely.
Yeah. And I don't think there's a lot of room here.
Yeah.
There's not much room. Because how many fucking incidents can happen where some other bunch of cockheads killed somebody?
Yeah, how do we get him back? How do we get him back? It's like I did see a little clip, like some dude on a meme. He's like, I know what you did last summer, but if the characters were in their 30s and 40s, and he gets the note that says, I know what you did last summer. And then he's sitting there going, fuck, where was I? And he starts going back through his phone. He's like, no, that's 2023. Fuck, was it this or that? Then after about fucking 60 seconds of thinking, he goes, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where we're getting to with the characters. So. That or, it's just, we're coming up with another implausible scenario to get.
Yeah.
I
don't think there's enough juice in the fucking tank anymore.
Well, what are we going to do? Are we going to get another new group together and they go back to, I can't even remember her name, but they go back to the final girl from this one. And she's like, oh, just hang on a minute. I've got to get in touch with the person that this happened to the time before.
Yeah.
And then we take a sidestep and bring in the TV series. Oh, yeah, there's another girl that had the same set of letters from a different person. Like,
yeah, look, there's not enough juice.
I don't think so.
Something like Scream still had plenty of juice.
Yeah.
And
you don't need an inciting incident to set up these characters.
Yes.
It's just the people that were involved the first time around and, oh, shit, there's a new Ghostface.
And Scream has made a shitload of money.
Yeah.
Both of those movies made a shitload of money.
We don't need to come up with an incident that would fit a letter being sent that says, I know what you did last summer every time we do it.
Yeah. All right, that's I Know What You Did Last Summer from 2025. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Send us an email at thrillme@iinet.net.au. We're on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia, Instagram at Thrill Me Podcast AU, and Podomatic at podomatic.com. Keep an eye on the Facebook page to see what we cover next. But until then, everyone, take it easy, and we'll catch you all later. Cheers. Find the podcast at Podomatic or on iTunes. Don't forget to rate and review. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia or contact us at thrillme, all one word, all lowercase, at iinet.net.au.